Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. I'm so glad you're here today. Now, today I'm actually going to be doing a Cricut card project, and this is a project that I designed myself. I've been seeing a lot of cover plates recently, and I thought I don't have any cover plate dies, and I thought it would be fun to try one. So I created this butterfly, what I'm calling an A2 butterfly cover plate card. I created this so that I could make a card with it. Now, real quick, I'm going to try to just turn my computer here and show you on my Cricut. I've just got my tablet there. So this is my A2 butterfly cover plate card that I designed. It's got my name on there, and I have made it public so you can go out and get it. But you can make it or you can customize it. And if you click make it, it's going to be exactly like how I made it. And you've got two mats. One is the mat that has the two cutouts for the cover plates. I did two cover plates because I thought I might want to do some layering and I might want to try to do cards two different ways. So I did two. And then your second mat has your A2 panel on there that you would just score and cut, and you'd have your panel. So I did create that. I thought I'm going to make a card with this, but I thought I might just take you through the steps of how easy it really is to make one of these. So I think if I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and click out of here if I can get it to work. And I've got my window open because it is an absolutely beautiful evening. We've actually have our air off, and I've got the windows open, and it's no longer sweltering like it has been. Anyway, so let's get to this. So if we wanted to make an additional card like this, we basically would just take our shapes, and I would grab the square, and then I would click on it, and I would go to edit, and I would unlock it so that I could, and hopefully you can see this. I'm going to try to zoom in there. I unlocked it so that I can make the width 4 1/4, and I want to make my height, and I don't know, maybe I did it the wrong way. Doesn't matter, by 5 1/2. And so now I've got a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch. Actually, that's not what I want. I take that back. I need to fix that. It needs to be 11 because we're going to need to score at 5 1/2. So yes, that's correct. So first of all, I'm going to change this to white because I like to look at my card base as white. And then I'm going to bring in a score line. So I'm going to need a shape. And if you grab this dotted shape, it is a, whoops, undo. I need to undo that. If you bring it in, it is a score line. So you can just move it. And I need to make it, it needs to be 4 1/4. So that it'll go all the way across my panel. And I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. And then I'm just going to take it over there until I hit the halfway point. I don't know if I'm even close. There we go. And leave it there. So now it has got it scoring my panel at 5 1/2 so that I'll have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panel. And then what I did was I created an additional panel. And so I just took a shape and I did this. And I did the same thing. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to make it 4 1/4 by, and this time I'm just going to do 5 1/2 because I'm just doing a panel is what I'm doing. And I left it black just for the sake of that. And then I thought what I would do is I would find a tree, because I recently saw Gina K do a tree cover panel that was really, really cute, where it had the trees cut up. So then I would just go into my images here and select that, and I would put in, I'm going to put in pine trees. I did a little search on this earlier so that I'd have an idea what I wanted to do. And then I would find a pine tree that I like. I like both of these, but I felt like this one has the ball on it, and so it looks a little different than this. So I'm going to go with this one here. And what I would do is I would just size this down to whatever size I want. And I'm thinking probably maybe 1 1/2 or somewhere in that. That's 1.5. And what I would do is I click on that and I go to edit, and I'm going to arrange it to where you bring it forward. And hopefully it did that. And so I'm also going to go in and I'm going to duplicate it. Because I'm going to have, and these are all the same size, and you can line them up, but I'm just showing you a real quick way, and you can make them any size, any way that you want them, and do it that way. And then, because I want to cut them out, and hopefully that'll work, I'm trying to get an idea. That's pretty close to working. I'll go ahead and merge them together by combining and welding. And then I'm going to, that makes them a single, well, hopefully, oh, I didn't click done. So combine, weld, done. And that makes them a single unit so that you can slice with them. So I'm just going to make them a little bit smaller so that it looks like it's going to fit. Yeah, it looks like it's going to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and click them again, and I'm going to bring them forward again. Hopefully that's doing that. I don't know why it's not acting like it's doing it, but I wanted to do that, yeah, so that I could line them up here and slice them out. So I've lined them up, and I've got both the page and the pine trees, and I've got them all joined together, and then I have the slice option available. So I'm going to slice them, and then I'm going to pull that away, and I'm going to pull that away. I'm going to delete that, and then I have my original ones, and then I'm going to bring them in, line them up, and I'm going to grab them both, and I'm going to slice again. And now I've got a panel with 6 trees that, and so this, you know, I could save this as, I'll just do A2, whoops, maybe, trying to get my keyboard to engage. I use a wireless keyboard on this. A2 pine tree cover panel. And we'll save it as that. Whoops, I can spell it right. And then I just saved to the cloud. And now I've saved that. And then there's a way that I can go in and make it public. But I wanted to show you real quickly, I knew that took a little bit of time, just show you real quickly how incredibly easy it is to do that. So now that we've done that, I'm going to pause for a minute, and we'll go back to the butterfly card, and we'll start working on it. Okay, I decided to just skip over the ink blending, but I did blend this panel. I thought, really the ink blending isn't really what I'm talking about today. It's really more about using the Cricut to create a cover plate. So what I wanted to do was just have some different colors on there. So I'm just going to cut that ink blending part out and just get right to the card part, because I want to save time, because it's really more about using your Cricut than it is about me ink blending a panel. So I just wanted to say that, so I'll just cut that out. So then what I'm going to do on this is just very simply, I'm just going to raise it up a little bit. I've got some of this just inexpensive foam tape from the Dollar Tree, and if the width will work, I'm just going to put it along the edge there. So basically, I'm going to lay my panel down right now, and I'm going to get my glue. I'm just going to take my ink blended panel, glue it up, get it down on there. Try and get my glue flowing real well. Get it on there. I just got back from an almost 6-mile bike ride that I did this evening. I have decided that I was going to get my bike back out and start riding it again. I used to ride it quite a bit, and I've just kind of gotten away from it. And I've gotten kind of out of the habit of, doing that. I had been walking quite a bit, and I've even kind of taken a break from that, especially with this heat. But it was a lot cooler tonight. And so I got my bike out, and I got it aired up. It was completely flat, so I had to air it up. Just trying to get this lined up here. Well, I think it'd be better if I just stood it up. Anyway, so I got my bike aired up, and I got on, and I was just going to take a short ride. And then my stepfather, who has been riding a lot, I rode over to his house, and he wanted to go for a ride, and so we did. So anyway, very quick, easy way that you can take your Cricut and make a nice little cover plate for this and have kind of a cute card. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to put on here sending a note. And let's see if we can just pop that up. Anyway, so when I saw the videos that were showing these cover plates, and I thought, I don't have any of those. And I thought, well, I know how I can create one of those with my Cricut. So that's what I did. And I will link, I'll actually link up the two projects in the description box below where I actually created this. So, and I should have put some foam in the middle to keep it from sinking, but I didn't. But you can definitely, you know, make a quick card like that, like a cover panel, and have that. Okay, so I did all my inlays. I glued all of these down, and I added some embellishments to it. And I just did it quickly because really it's more about just creating the cover plate and what you can do with your Cricut than it is on how I basically embellished it or whatever. But I really think that, you know, if you don't have all those fancy dies and stuff, you certainly can use your Cricut to create a cover plate. Okay, so I just brought my wooden board in so I could show you the cards. You know, this is the one that I ink blended and just added a thinking of you sentiment and some embellishments on. And I think it turned out pretty good. You know, we've got the original butterfly underneath there, and then we just layered it with the other one, kind of scored it so that we could lift the butterfly so we could have some dimension to the card. So I think it turned out cute. I hope you like it. And then our original one where we just cut them out and I ink blended the panel, threw it underneath there, glued it down and added a sentiment. Add a little, you know, foam tape to kind of give some dimension. And then I wanted to bring in the one that we created in Design Space. And what I did with this is I just cut it out. I scored 3 of them and laid them in there just underneath. I put it on a green card base. So if you use the template that's in there, you can cut that base out and just put it on there. And then this was a sentiment that I did a couple weeks ago in Design Space. Just used a text that I like and did a shadow of it. And I actually used vinyl on that because I like to weed vinyl better than I do the smaller ones. The paper sometimes tears and vinyl works pretty well, so I use that. But I guess I just want to challenge you. Get creative with your Cricut and see what you can come up with. It can be a lot of fun. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.